Yes, I would like to buy, someday.
Would you fix your tie, please?
Well, people wouldn't recognize me if my tie was fixed, but okay. Just leave it this way. All right. I don't consider myself a journalist, and nobody else would consider myself a journalist. I began to take on the life of being an interviewer, even though I have a day job running a private equity firm. How do you define leadership? What is it that makes somebody tick? Aliko Dangote is widely known to be the wealthiest man in Africa. So is that a title you're proud to have, or is that one where you get so many people calling you for money you wish you
could? Like physically, do you understand? The conversation is just on phone, and then you start building the momentum. So it can still happen, or like not like there are random people, yes, but then conversation.
So maybe we should carry out research, because whatever it is when we propose, there should be a background. And if we don't know what the problem is, we can't write the background. Exactly what problem we're trying to tackle. I didn't think it was a major issue in Nigeria. However, it might be, and I might be unaware.
Cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying, yes. Cyberbullying, yes.
structural size, have our anatomical markers to know where we are in the brain and what areas are necessary. Right now, from this, I can take it to another machine. Right, maybe from this, it would sit onto film. In about 6 months, I could develop the film, and I would get this kind of X-ray film. And from that, we can then image it and get those images that you see here. That color image, because we use standards with this, you can see them here. This is all quantitative. And the resolution far exceeds anything we can image with. If we do positron emission tomography in humans, we're looking at around millimeters. One and a half to 2. If we're doing MRI, less. Right, and so this is microns. Resolution for this audioradiographic is unbelievable. So it's still a gold standard, but it's not used as much because they like to fancy it. Coming in to pioneer all of this I was fortunate enough to work with Dr. Arango before she retired. Dr. Arango comes from Colombia, and she's a neuroanatomist. So she's one of these people that knows every crevice in your brain, every crinkle, and can give you this Latin name for it. And it's like, are you kidding me? It's like,
Um, Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
You're all welcome to our fifth and I'll say our final edition of the Mentor ASR Africa Mentor Meetup for FCET Gusau. My name is Naka Makeri. I'm the Multilateral Coordination Specialist for the Abdul Samad Rabiu Initiative for Africa, or ASR Africa for short. I'm trying to see if I can see a picture of the girls. Are you guys online? Is everyone online?
Yeah.
So that we can kick off. Okay. All right. So just by way of opening remarks, we have a fantastic outline of mentors and speakers for today. It has been an interesting 5-month journey with all the ladies of FCT Gusau. I want to applaud you, and you should also clap for yourselves. It's an amazing feat for you guys to have stuck it out and to have engaged with all the mentors, asked your questions, and I believe that at this point, you've also started putting into practice the things that you have learned and heard from mentors here. So without much ado, I would like to just briefly talk about, just give a brief overview of some of the mentors that we have on board. Sorry, just a moment. So today we're going to be starting out with Dr. Bojumbola Abiri, who is a consultant psychiatrist, a managerial psychologist, and the CEO of ReadyMed Consulting Services. That's a medical consultancy firm. She's a fellow of the West African College of Physicians and a member of the American Psychiatric Association as well. She is passionate about research in child and adolescent forensic women's mental health. Bojumbola is a mental health advocate who is driven by the holistic view to health, and as such is a regular voice on various print and electronic media. So you're welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And very soon we'll get to hear your story. We also have among the mentees, Susan
very much.
Cortez. Susan Cortez is a facilitator and a coach. She's a founder of the SBC in 1996 and Discernees in 2007. She designs and delivers executive training to French corporations and multinationals. Over the course of her career, Susan has facilitated hundreds of events across Europe in corporate and academic environments. Many have been touched by her unique and eclectic style. As a certified Havening Techniques trainer in France, she teaches other professionals to use these powerful techniques in therapy, medical practice, coaching, and personal development. So thank you so much for being with us today, Susan. We look forward to our session with you shortly. And last but not least, we have Kurera Musa, who has also joined us from the US as well. Kurera has been working in the retail and service in the beauty sector with 29 years of experience in sales and marketing. She has trained over 4,000 youth and women in various skills training, including makeup, plumbing, electrical, and phone repairs, tailoring, sailor, and shoemaking. She has required experience and knowledge to communicate brand objectives and client expectations effectively. So Kurera has been working with young people, equipping them with skills, livelihood capacity, and the like. So thank you so much, Kurera, for joining us as well. And I hope that all our ladies will pick up one or two things from you today and your story. So guys, once again, you have heard the profile of those who are going to be speaking with you. We're going to be starting with Dr. Abiri. But I want you to please, once again, give your attention. These are from their profile. You can tell that these are high capacity women who have achieved a lot in their field. They've gone through all sorts of experiences that have bestowed them with wisdom and capacity to give you those insights and that information that is crucial to your own success, your own story. Once again, it's always a privilege to have mentors, to have people who will share their experiences and their stories with you. So please keep an ear out and make the most of this opportunity. So thank you once again. Thank you very much. I don't know if we've had the opening remarks from FCT Gusau.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say thank you so much. I am sitting in for Dr. Korea. My name is Abdul Wahab, and I've been a technical partner as far as the ASR Africa Initiative is concerned. We've been so appreciative of all that has been happening, and obviously the mentors have been, we say, shining lights. All that has happened so far as ASR Africa Mentoring Program are concerned today, FCT has been wonderful as far as concerned. It has changed the life of the girl, and as we can see, the transformation is already there. The only thing is that we are praying that this is coming close to an end. This is the last meeting we are going to be having. We are thanking Mr. Makama, Ayo, Bibi, they are all already on the way for the close of tomorrow. Anytime from now, we'll be so. We are also thankful and inshallah, we are all going to be here. Thank you so much. You are all welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your comments. And just a little point of correction, myself and Ayo will not be there physically, but you guys are going to meet even important people, more important than us, Didi will be there physically with you guys tomorrow, or in fact, maybe in an hour. They are on their way to Gusau right now. And with a surprise guest, our own managing director is going to be there himself in person, because yes, thank you. The entire leadership of ASR Africa, including our chairman, have said that you guys are very important to us and to Nigeria and to what we're doing. So your graduation is also important. He's going to be there in person to meet with you guys. Yes. So that's a little bit of good news. So we don't have a lot of time. We've already taken up a lot of time. So I think we can immediately launch in with Dr. Abiri's presentation. If you're ready, ma'am, you can unmute and go ahead.
All right. Well, a very good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me on the call today. I have a presentation, but I see that the host has disabled participant sharing. If that could be worked on, perhaps I could share my presentation so that we have something to look at while I speak. So that, I come as one of the individuals to mentor the young girls. I think that it's particularly, inspiring that this conversation is coming on the International Day of the Girl Child. And so, it's very heartwarming and very inspiring to me as a woman, as a female, and as a girl child. It's really nice to meet each and every one of you, albeit virtually. I mean, it's a global world right now. So regardless of whether I'm in Lagos, whether the, other facilitators and speakers are, far away in America, it's great to meet each and every one of you. And I've been very well introduced. My name is Bonjubola. Thank you for having me here. So usually before I work, I like to say that I like to play a lot. I play because I feel like I'm a child at heart. And so this afternoon, I would like to teach us a song just before we start. I mean, we're here to talk about how it is that we can be in tune with our mental health. And so I'm saying to us this afternoon, let's sing a song. And I'll sing this song to you. It may be the only thing you remember from this conversation, but it's something I would want you to go away with. And so the song goes thus. Everyone has a partner there, so you can turn to your partner when you know the song and you sing the song. And the song says, every time I see my friend, I love to say hello. H-E-L-L-O, H-E-L-L-O, H-E-L-L-O. I love to say hello. Every time I see my friend, I love to say hello. H-E-L-L-O, H-E-L-L-O, H-E-L-L-O. I love to say hello. Thank you very much, Carrie, for singing along. And it's a very simple song, but it's also a song that, will bring a smile to your face because you're saying hello to your very good friend when you do see them. All right, so let's go on with the conversation. And the conversation has us looking at this man. And so I'm asking each and every one of us on the call today, young ladies, women, girls, how do you take care of your mental health? Do you have an idea of what your mental health is? And that question is very important because if you see the man in the picture, what he's doing is he's wearing something that became very synonymous with the COVID pandemic, a face mask. But he's not wearing this face mask on his face. He's wearing this face mask on his head. And he tells us that this is how he takes care of his mental health. And so the big question to you today is, how do you, each and every one of you, how do you take care of your mental health? As I go on today in the conversation, I want us to be able to achieve a few things before we leave. I want you to learn the true meaning of health. So usually people talk about health. Oh, health. I want you to understand what wellness is. I would like us to look at what we know as the 8 pillars of wellness. I want us to identify together the pressures and stressors of our times. We live in such difficult times. I want us to understand that all of these pressures and stressors have an impact on our health and well-being. I, however, want us to also understand that in spite of whatever difficulties or challenges we may face, all hope is not lost. And I will give us 15 tips on how to be in tune with our mental health. So let's get right into it. And the first thing I would like to discuss with us is health, the definition of health. So usually, people will say, oh, I don't have cough, I don't have a cold, I haven't seen a doctor in the past 10 years. But does that really mean that you are well? Not necessarily so. Because the WHO says that an individual is healthy. The WHO is the World Health Organization, says that an individual is healthy when that individual has a complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being. Physical wellness of the body, mental wellness of the mind, and social wellness of the environment and interactions. And it is not just the absence of disease or infirmity. Again, let's go on and see the definition of mental health. Most times when people hear mental, they say, that means colo mental. That means the person is, loony. That means the person is not well in the head, but not necessarily so. When we say that an individual is mentally healthy, it means that that individual is able to perform the functions of the mind. The mind is the brain. Now, what are the functions of the mind? The functions of the mind include to think, to reason, to perceive through the 5 senses, the sense of smell, touch, taste, hearing, and sight, to be able to engage in emotions. How are you feeling? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you angry? Are you irritable? Are you envious? Are you jealous? It also helps us in other aspects of our behavior. And so sometimes if people are nice to us, are we nice as well? If people are not nice to us, are we angry or cranky towards them? When an individual is mentally healthy, that means the mind is in a good place. It means that that individual is able to engage in what we call productive activities. You can go to school, you can go to work, you can interact with people around you, your family and your friends. You can contribute to what is called your own quota, your own bit to the environment that you live in. And so whether you are class captain, whether you are class rep, whether you are class governor, whether you are the head of a team, you are able to do everything it is that you need to do. You are also able to cope with the normal stresses of life. And I'm sure somebody is wondering, how do normal and stress come in the same sentence? But you see, stress is a normal part of our lives. The only people who are not undergoing stress are the people who are dead. Stress is a normal physiological response. And so whenever we see anything, hear anything that threatens our safety, security, stability, and sanity, we may become stressed. And last but not the least is that we are able to engage in thriving relationships. You see, all of us are not from under a rock. We have families, we have friends, and so we cannot do life alone. We interact with other people. And so to be mentally well as well, we must be able to have thriving, fulfilling relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people around us as well. Now, this conversation will not be complete if we do not talk about what is known as the pillars of wellness. And there are 8 pillars of wellness. Wellness is an all-encompassing state that looks at whether or not you are happy. It looks at your quality of life. It looks at how intentional you are about contributing to your own health and well-being. And the pillars of wellness are the physical pillars that have to do with your physical body, what you eat, what you drink, whether you exercise. The emotional pillar has to do with your emotions, your feeling state, how you interact with yourself and others as well. The intellectual pillar has to do with the state of your mind. Are you improving your brain? Are you reading books? Are you attending seminars? I mean, this mentor meetup is one of the fantastic ways that, we are improving our intellect. Then there's spiritual. Each and every one on the call may have something above them, something you might call God, your spiritual being that you look up to and gives you strength and energy. That is your spiritual wellness. Then there's the financial wellness. Everybody likes to talk about money. I mean, who doesn't like money? Money is good. Money helps us to achieve many of the things that we want to. And so we also need to be financially well, have money, save money, but be able to invest money as well. Then there's social wellness, and social wellness has to do with your interaction with yourself and the people around you. There's occupational wellness, the work that you find to do. And so whether you're a student, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're a pharmacist, whatever it is that you find to do, you need to also be well occupationally. And the last but not the least is the environmental wellness. How are you in the environment that you are? Is it comfortable? Is it suitable? Is it safe for your health and your well-being? And so those are the pillars of wellness. Now, we need to look at what the pressures and stressors of our time are, because the conversation today is how it is that we can be in tune with our mental health. And if we look at mental health and we look at health and we look at wellness and we don't look at the factors that can affect our health and well-being, we may not have done a lot of work. And so in this age and time, in this Nigeria, what are some of the things that are stressing us and causing us a lot of pressure? They include the COVID-19 pandemic. There's no one that didn't know about the COVID-19 pandemic. It was 3 years ago, but even till now, the COVID-19 is still here, in addition to quite a number of other diseases. There's the news. Quite unfortunately, these days, there's a lot of negative news. We hear of news of wars, of kidnappings, of shootings. It can be very disabling and detrimental to our mental health. There's the uncertainty. Sometimes we are uncertain about how things go on around us. What will happen tomorrow? What will happen right now? What does my future hold? That can affect our mental health and well-being. Sometimes we lack some appropriate skills to cope. The skills rather of communication, assertiveness, emotional intelligence, and resilience. Then there's a lot of loneliness. A lot of us may feel lonely because our parents may not be here. Our siblings may not be with us. They may be miles away. There's a lack of human contact. And some of us may struggle with the fact that we don't have people to support us when we actually need them to support us. Some individuals may have some physical or already existing mental health conditions. Then, of course, there are the problems of Nigeria, the problems of fuel scarcity, fuel price, power problems, issues with service providers. There's something we call the JAPA because everybody is trying to run away. And there's also something we call the SAPA, the financial instability and the insecurity. There's a lot that can, put a lot of pressure on our health and well-being. And so this afternoon, part of the conversation is how that we must learn tips on how we can be in tune with our mental health. And the first tip I want to share with us today is I want you to be self-aware. As you know yourself and you know your limits, ask yourself the difficult question: who am I? What motivates me? What drives me? What makes me to be who I am? How do I feel in certain situations? Are there people, places, or processes that make me feel less of myself? Number two, I encourage you to be kind to yourself. Be kind in your words. What are the things you say to yourself? Do you say kind things to yourself? Do you affirm yourself? Do you tell yourself, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, I am phenomenal? Show yourself kindness with your words, with your deeds, with your thoughts, and with your actions. Do kind things for yourself. And then, of course, when you have shown yourself kindness, you can also show kindness to others as well. It's important, number three, that you care for yourself and you care for others as well. Make yourself a priority. Tell yourself, I am important. Tell yourself, I matter. Tell yourself that the things that are important to me are extremely important. Care for yourself, but also care for others. because other people are also struggling and going through difficult times. Number 4, encourages that you develop yourself, educate yourself, and empower yourself. The biggest room in the world is the room for improvement, self-improvement. I encourage you today to continue to learn, keep learning. When a man stops learning or a woman stops learning, then they start to die. So make learning a priority for you. Read books, listen to videos, listen to webinars and seminars, enrich your mind. Number 5, I would encourage you to practice gratitude. We may not have all that we want at all times, but you see, gratitude, being thankful, saying I am thankful for this, thankful for that, changes the way that we see the world. It changes the little that we have into just enough. Practice gratitude. Write out what you are grateful for every day, but tell yourself, why am I grateful for this? Or I am grateful for Simbi, my friend, because she's a fantastic friend. I'm grateful for Alima because Alima, always thinks about me. Be mindful about your gratitude. Tell us why you are grateful for the things you are grateful for. Number 6, encourages that you celebrate your wins, no matter how little. You see, you may not get people to celebrate you all the time, but you need to be able to look at yourself and tell yourself, well done, I have done well. We usually talk about the story about the Agama lizard. Whenever the lizard jumps down from a tree, it looks left, it looks right, and then it nods its head. It tells itself, well done, you've done well. And so no matter how little your wins are, celebrate your wins. Number 7, turn failures into lessons. In fact, tell yourself there is no failure. Failure is only final when you decide you can't get up again. Take the lessons, take the moments, and tell yourself no regrets, no failures, just lessons. Number 8, and that speaks to what we're doing here today, find positive friends, find mentors and, co-workers, colleagues. Look for people who inspire you, who encourage you to be better, who encourage you to win, who tell you I am proud of you and I am here in your corner, who tell you every once in a while, how are you, my friend? Number 9, encourages that you are mindful. Be present in the moment. Use your senses. Slow down and pay attention to the things that you normally not pay attention to. What are the things that on a normal day I may not see while walking? I may not hear while, walking. Use your senses and pay attention to the things around you. I engage you to do some exercise. Exercise will help you release what we call endorphins, which are called feel-good hormones. And so whether you are walking, whether you are cycling, whether you are jogging, whether you are skipping, just ensure that you are moving. I encourage you on number 11 to find a hobby. Find something that you enjoy beyond your schoolwork, beyond your books. Learn how to draw, learn music, learn how to garden, learn how to swim, learn how to dance. Number 12, please practice self-care. You see, you need, again, to make yourself a priority. Take care of yourself. Self-care is not selfish. And sometimes the only selfless thing you can do for yourself is to be selfish. Take good care of yourself. On the plane, when they're talking about if the oxygen pressure drops, they always say that if the mask falls down, whose mask should you put on first? Put on your mask. Take good care of yourself first. Number 13, please, ladies, do something that your future self will thank you for. There are many of us that look around us ourselves and we say, oh, I wish I could do this. Oh, if I had time, if I had energy, if I had money. No, pause, find time and do the things that matter to you. Number 14, to ensure that you are in tune with your mental health. Every once in a while, take a social media break, turn off your phone, enjoy nature, take a walk, turn off your phone and turn away from distractions around us. Our phones, the internet, the laptops sometimes can be distractions. And the last but not the least that I would encourage you to do is I would encourage you to volunteer to a cause that you are very, very passionate about. Volunteers don't necessarily have the time, they just have the mind. I'm hopeful that, this items that I have shared with you will help you to be in tune with yourself and with your mental health. And when you are in tune with yourself and your mental health, what are the benefits? You are less likely to come down with a mental health condition. You have a higher self-esteem. You feel good about yourself. You have greater empathy for others because you understand what people are going through. You understand their difficult moments. Your immunity is strengthened, and so you will not come down with just any illness. You have a reduced risk of developing dementia. Women are more likely than men to develop dementia, but if you empower your mind, you reduce the risk. Your quality of life improves. You have better physical health. Your relationships are better. And at the end of the day, you are able to deal with adversity and difficulty when it shows up. We don't have this conversation a lot of times, but I want to encourage each and everyone on the call today to ask for help whenever you feel like you are in a tight place. Whenever you are confused and you don't know what to do, get professional help. Get help that encourages you to have open and honest conversation that is free of bias, that is non-judgmental, and that is confidential as well. Everyone needs somebody. Relationships, like I always like to say, are the fabric of human existence. Remember, as I close, that we are all in this together. And so look out for yourself and look out for others. Listen to yourself, to your body, but also listen to other people with kindness, compassion, and non-judgmental views. Learn about yourself, learn about others, learn about mental health. Be curious and inquisitive for a lot of knowledge. And at the end of the day, if you find anyone struggling with their mental health or with their emotional state, please find a source of support and link them up with the source of support. I want to close with this story. And the story says that every morning in Africa, a gazelle, which is shown in the picture, wakes up. And the gazelle knows that it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning in this same Africa, a lion wakes up. And the lion knows that he must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. You see, ladies, it doesn't matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle. Whenever the sun comes up, it's important that you are running. There's a lot of work to be done. And as I close, I just want to thank you very much for your time and your rapt attention. And I definitely do wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Please remember that there is no health without mental health. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Albert. Thank you so much for that. My me. So ladies, I mean, you've heard it. First of all, thank you, Dr.
Waiting was out.
Okay. Hello? Am I back on?
Yes.
Okay. My apologies. The network is fluctuating terribly on my end. But thank you again, Dr. Abiri, for your presentation, ladies. I hope you heard what she said. Mental health is really crucial and very important for the health of all of us involved, and especially for you and those that love you and are members of your family and those that are around you. Your mental health affects not just you, but everyone else around you. Thank you again, Dr. Abri, especially for reminding us that it's the International Day of the Girl Child. And I'm sure all the girl children that are here are listening to you and are appreciating this. I think without further ado, and before my network goes wonky again, I would like to introduce Susan Cortez to start with her presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I would also like to share my screen if I can. And I'd like to say thank you for inviting me. I'm really excited to be here. I'm so happy to meet you all. And I want to say congratulations to you for the students who are doing so well and making so much progress. Thank you, Banjubola. What a lovely presentation. And I'm so happy to continue on the same theme and talk about some techniques. Okay, so now I can share. Let me just do that for you. Oh, there we go. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. Up. There we go. So yes, continuing on the theme of mental health, I would like to talk about some techniques that are called havening techniques and self-havening techniques. And it's a way to do some self-care. My name is Susan Cortez. I am based in France. I've been living here for a very long time, working with lots of different populations, and more recently on just a little thing. Havening techniques. Havening techniques were created by some doctors in New York. And when COVID hits, that's when we needed some ways, if we couldn't see a therapist, we figured out ways to help ourselves. And so that is what I'd like to speak about now. There we go. What are these techniques, havening techniques? How? I'd like to share with you three basic techniques, 3 ways to use self-havening. Talk a little bit about how it works, where it comes from. It's based in the neurosciences, and there is a lot of research and proof behind it of how it works and why it works and how it helps build resilience in our brains. And I'd like to start by actually doing it. Havening techniques are techniques that involve a touch. And the touch is something that we all know innately, that it will soothe us. It helps us feel better. It's what you do when your friend is in some kind of pain and you give them a pat on the back, or a little caress on the arms, or when a baby is crying, you're going to caress the baby's face. And these techniques help us feel better. Havening techniques involve touching in these different positions on your arms like this, with your hands together, or on your face. You can touch here like that, or on your forehead. And these caresses make changes in our brain. They go in through, first of all, the electrical changes, and they're going to increase the delta waves that are in our brain. And then they're going to cause kind of a chain reaction. So how about if you try it? Could you all now try this? See how it feels on your arms. Yes. Oh, it's great to see you. Your hands like that. And like this. These techniques are for self-care. And the first one we're going to look at is saving your amygdala. Your amygdala in the brain is the center of your emotions. And when you are stressed, and we've just learned that we're all stressed, we all have stressors in life, the amygdala sort of takes control, and it puts you in a state where you have less access to your thinking, to your intellect, and there are a lot of chemical things happening in your brain that make you a little less ready to deal with what is happening. So we're going to practice this first exercise. You use the Havening touch and distract. The distractions is to put your working brain on something else. So we begin by feeling a little bit of stress. And I don't want you to be too uncomfortable, but try to remember sometime recently when you felt kind of uncomfortable, stressed out, maybe just before your exam. I understand you had exams today. What was that feeling? If you can try to bring up that feeling just for a second, maybe you could even put a number on it, between 0, no stress, and 10, really stressed out. If you can get that stress up to, I don't know, 5, maybe somewhere around there. And when you start feeling that stress, we're going to start using the techniques of Havening. Okay, so go ahead and on your arms, your hands, your face, and we're going to think about something different, just to distract. So I invite you to think about, oh, how about animals? There was a gazelle, a lion. What other animals? Maybe you in the room, the students can think about different animals. You can say them out loud. You can say them one after another. Whatever comes to mind, just picture a different animal, say the name. Cats, dogs, elephants, fish. Keep saying names, thinking about the different animals, and practicing Havening touch. Okay, great. Would you like to think about fruit now? Can you name some fruit? What comes to mind? Let's think about all the different fruit that we've seen, that we've eaten, that we've been eating. Bananas. Go ahead. Yeah, keep going. Bring them to mind, say them, repeat the words, think about all these different fruit, think about how they taste. What are your favorites? Beautiful. Keep going. That's great. Okay, let's try a third little game. Think about the different emotions that make you feel good. Happiness, joy. Think about beautiful, pleasurable emotions, feelings, happiness, and you can repeat words that bring a smile to your face.
Yeah. It's a serious one.
Okay, that's great. So, yes. Take a second, tune into yourself. How do you feel? You remember that stressful state a few minutes ago where you started? Where are you on a scale of 0 to 10? Has it decreased?
Use the mic. This is the mic. Just talk to the mic because it will be loud and
Oh, good. So you feel better. And that's okay, and it is as simple as that. But now I would like to explain why that works and how it works. First of all, the starting point is feeling and getting into yourself to understand how much stress you are, what state of stress you are in. So we use this scale. It goes from 0 to 10. 10 is really stressed out. 0 is no pain, everything's wonderful, it's a nice calm state. So whenever you have the feeling, you check into yourself and you have the feeling that you're going up on the scale of stress, and maybe you're going up to a 5, you can take a break and practice this amygdala rescue with a little self-havening and distraction. And it's the distraction that gets your working memory onto something else. And the touch is going to change your electrical chemical composition in the brain at this time. So what are different distractions? In fact, you can do anything. All of the advice that we had a few minutes ago about doing sports, going outside, think about any of these things that make you happy and you are distracting your working memory, and applying this self-havening, which means that you are increasing the delta waves in your brain. The delta waves there has been a lot of research on what these touch points do to the electrical composition of your brain. When you have more delta waves, you are also going to have more serotonin, oxytocin, GABA, and dopamine being secreted inside of your brain. And that will change the composition of your feelings, and it will help calm down the amygdala. And the amygdala will receive these increases in neurochemicals that will help you come back into what we call the window of tolerance. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So you come down into this window of tolerance and you have less stress in the moment because your parasympathetic nervous system is being activated. It is calming things down. And this is going to boost your resilience and give you a little more space to take control of yourself, to self-manage, to be more in charge of your emotional state and what you want to do with it and how you want to develop your emotional intelligence. So what is the window of tolerance? That is when your amygdala is sitting back, calm, happy, taking in what's happening in your world and feeling good about it. When you go outside of that window of tolerance, that's when you have this increase in stress, and maybe you go up to this overreaction, and the amygdala has sort of taken over because it thinks, it doesn't think actually, but it makes you feel like you are in danger. And so it takes control. And this happens, you saw the list of all the things that are stressing us out today, and there are so many. And we have a negativity bias. That means that we see the negative things more than we see the positive. Our brains are scanning for bad news, especially when we have an overactive amygdala. We are focusing on the bad news and maybe overreacting. And when it happens too much, we are stressing out more and more often, jumping out of that window of tolerance a little too often, and it gets harder to control our state of stress. And so it becomes a cycle of stress, building stress, building stress. The opposite, and what we want to build to overcome this negativity bias, is resilience. So a little definition of what we're talking about. Building up your resilience is building up your feeling of power, that you can do it, that you know how to move forward, that you can make your plans and do what you need to do to go forward. You also have more self-confidence, a belief in yourself, in your strengths, in your abilities, and trusting others, because we're not perfect. None of us are perfect. We all have some vulnerability. And when we can openly say to other people, I need help. I made a mistake. I'd like your advice. That's also a sign of resilience, of knowing that we're in it together. And the fourth point is self-management, which is exactly what we're doing with the havening, is managing our states, our emotional states in the moment present, in the present moment, and trying to make better connections. You know neuroplasticity, and that's how we build resilience, and specifically with self-havening techniques. Maybe you've already heard this quote, neurons that fire together, wire together. If you are thinking something again and again and again, it's right here, it's in front of you, and you see it and you repeat it. And so it becomes part of your way of thinking. So if you're on that negativity bias and thinking this is no good, this is difficult, you start thinking that all the time. But if we can train, maybe with self-havening, to think, I can do it, I am worth it, I am enough, then the same principles of neuroplasticity will apply, and you will grow those connections in your brain, and it's the neurochemical changes that take place that actually physically build stronger connections between the different neurons in your brain. So I suggest that we try a second havening, self-havening technique. And this one is on the positive side. Let's build our self-confidence. So this is an exercise that you can do on a regular basis and think about what you want more of from emotions, from states, from abilities maybe. For example, if you want more self-confidence. So let's try. I invite you all to start self-havening, okay? So think about self-confidence, having confidence in yourself. Maybe you can think about where you are, and you can ask yourself, and I'd like you to repeat after me, okay? What if I were confident? What if I were confident? What if I had more confidence? What if I felt more confident? What if I had more self-confidence? Could I increase my confidence? Could I be more confident? Can I show my confidence? Can I feel confidence? Can I demonstrate my confidence? Am I good enough? Will I be confident? Feel your state of confidence. Feel the confidence inside of you that is growing, that is expanding, that is a state that you can embody. And breathe it in. Breathe in your confidence. Confidence in yourself. I am enough. I am good enough. I am strong. I am confident. Repeat the words that ring true for you. I am confident. I feel confident. I am confident. I feel confident. Yeah, congratulations to you. Do you feel more confident? Do you feel inside of you?
Yes.
Excellent. It's a wonderful, wonderful technique that you can use whenever you feel this need to be a little stronger, be a little more confident, be a little more sure of yourself. And it's also a technique that you can use on a daily basis. It's something that can help you control or increase your state of confidence and your resilience. So how about a third exercise for the end of this session? And we heard about it a minute ago in the last session, the importance of gratitude. It is proven, well known, that gratitude, when you can feel thankful for what you have, you feel better, you feel more aligned, and you have more power, more personal power. So a few minutes ago, we were talking about feeling grateful. And hopefully you thought about the different things that you are grateful for. And maybe you can bring those up now. 2, 3, 5 things that you are really happy about, grateful for. And I suggest that we have the final self-havening exercise where you can repeat to yourself, I am grateful today. And you finish the sentence the way you would like to. And practice some self-havening, showing, feeling, building up inside of you your gratitude.
I am grateful today. Oh, what a grateful day.
Today. I am grateful 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 today for what?
What are you grateful for? Everybody can complete that sentence with the different things that you are feeling grateful about, that you're really thankful to have. Your friends, your training, your learning, your families.
We are grateful today for having you as our mentor. We are grateful today for meeting you, Ma. We are grateful today for having this exercise, Ma. We are grateful today for enjoying this exercise, Ma.
Great. Thank you. Me too. I am so grateful to see you, to get to share with you. And congratulations. Keep up the good work. Keep up your gratitude. You can practice these exercises as often as you want. And it can be kind of, you know, like a sport. The more you do it, the better you are at it, and the more in control of your amygdala. You can teach your amygdala to stay calm, to stay happy, and give yourself that space to calm down your stress, build up your resilience. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Susan. That was amazing. I think I needed that more than the girls. I'm more stressed out. But I really appreciate what you said. I hope we get, you know, some more resources that we can share with the girls, ladies. If you're like me, I'm sure there are a couple of things you want to learn more about. You want to learn more about dopamine and the amygdala and its functions and all of these things. It's very, very important for us to improve our knowledge and get more information about these things. Thank you so much. And I'm sure, ladies, you must have noticed the trend. We've been talking about mental health, and this is because all this week we're celebrating mental health internationally. It's International Mental Health Day. I think it was Tuesday or Monday of this week. So thank you so much, Susan. Thank you so much. Really appreciate all the techniques that we have learned today. So, ladies, some of the secret about techniques is practice, right? Whenever you feel that stress coming on, you try and practice what we've learned today, right? All the soothing techniques, and some of these things are innate. They're things that we typically just do them with our friends, with our colleagues. So it's just to be a little more intentional about it now. When you are in a high stress situation, you are a bit more intentional about applying the techniques. And something else I learned today is also be there for someone who is stressed. Not just you, If you see a friend of yours, a colleague, a sister, a brother, someone that is stressed, you can apply those techniques too and help them relieve that stress and get into that resilient space. Yes, very important. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Susan. All right, so without much ado, we're going to go straight into the third and final session for the day. I would like to encourage you ladies to also write out your questions. You have questions you want to ask any of the speakers. Maybe you have some specific high stress situations or specific mental difficulties you want to discuss with Dr. Abiri, or you want to hear Susan's opinions or recommendations on how to deal. Please write out your questions. Then we can talk about it a little later. Microphone, as it were. Thank you so much once again, Kurera.
Who is starting?
Kurera,
Okay.
I need to unmute your microphone.
Thank you.
Yes,
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Carey, for giving me this opportunity to address my daughters all the way in Gusau. And thank you for the fellow speakers. I've learned a lot. And I'm glad to share this space with you. So I'm going to talk today about, self-care, beauty, fashion, and surprisingly, it all ties into mental health as well. The most important part of this is that you are in school, you are gaining education, which is the gateway for everything that can get you to be self-independent. Right. So education is power. And make sure that you tap into everything you're learning and practice, because consistency is what makes everything perfect. Okay. In regards to, self-care and appearance, you're all in college now, soon you'll be graduating, maybe some of you will start looking for a job. It is important that you understand that the first thing anyone sees is your appearance. Before you open your mouth, before you even do anything, it's how you look and how you smell. So it's very important for you to make sure that whatever you're wearing, my aunt used to tell me that, Herrera, even if you have one outfit, make sure that you wash it all the time. So cleanliness is key. Make sure that your clothes or whatever you're wearing is clean. It's not, you can no body odors, you're taking care of yourself. I mean, if some of you are not understanding me, so say, kunsang ina jeng Hausa, so zan iya yin Hausa. Wala jin Turanci sosai dai ko? Okay, all right. So very important, you make sure that your clothing is clean. And when it comes to your hair, it's also well braided, or whatever style you have is done well. And makeup should not be this masquerade looking kind of makeup. It should be clean. People should see you, not the makeup. When you come to a place, especially when you're going for a job interview, the person should be able to see your personality, not to be focused on your eyeshadows and your lipstick and your blushes, that the person miss what you're even trying to say when you're answering the question. So it's very important that you keep your makeup minimal, clean, professional. Also, appearance is very important on how you dress. Think of the culture where you're going to go for that job interview. It is very important that if you're meeting someone that is from a different culture and can perceive you a certain way, if you dress differently, then try to, because you want that job, right? So try to dress to conform to that culture, because you do want to fit in. And the other thing that is important is also your network. Network is very, very important because it can influence you, how you act, how you behave, who you meet, how you actually help yourself to grow. So right now, always look at people that can help you to grow, can teach you how to do things better, that can you can share important things that can add value. And if, like one of the speakers had said, if you don't know, cry out for someone to show you how to. And even if it's, I'm saying the clothing, if you're not sure of what, it is nothing wrong asking for help to teach you how to be a better person. And in regards to also professionalism, you know, social media now can make you or break you. So it is very important now that you're starting your life, you should be very careful what you post on your pages. Because when you go out there, the first thing anyone that is going to hire you, they will go through your social media pages, comments you're making, outfit you're wearing, all of that. And don't think it's going to be deleted, it's there. So it's very, very important that you take that into consideration. I have noticed some people have lost important positions in their life of recent because of how people perceive them on social media. So, and also believe in yourself. Don't try to copy others, except if that copying is going to be of benefit to you. But don't copy because that person has so many likes, so you're going to start dressing like that person, you're going to start wearing makeup like that person, and you're going to start speaking like that person. You should have your own individuality. And again, always try to learn to better yourself. If you're not sure of how to wear a certain makeup, there's some interviews they would say, okay, do we want you professional clean? Google what professional clean is, okay? If it is attire, they would say certain attire. If you're not sure, you can Google it or call someone that knows better, all right? Self-appearance apart from, makeup, clothing, also exercise, It is not just for the physical attraction, but also for your health. Because like many of the previous speakers had mentioned, working out helps your brain. It makes you feel happy, it gives you confidence. When you exercise and you're looking good, you feel like you can conquer the world. And that confidence goes with you when you walk into that room to have, whether it's an interview or whether to speak to other students to inspire them, it makes you feel better about yourself. So it's very, very important for that. And now that you are given an opportunity, this is always my thing, is that you are so lucky that you are in this college. In my time, I wish I had that opportunity like you. But you are in this college where you have people from all over the world to come and speak to you. So what I want you to understand, this gift is not just for you to take it and keep it. It's for you to learn and then use that gift and give back. Giving back is also another way of self-care, because when you give, you feel happy. Your whole personality changes. There's this internal happiness that comes with giving. So it's important that when you go out, even today, don't wait till you graduate, start reaching out and helping others. It is a very, very good way to keep your mental health. Like my aunt always says, a God-given talent not used for the betterment of humanity is worthless. So I'll end this as saying, thank you all, and I wish you all the best. And if you want to learn more about makeup or anything, I have my brand, I have a blog, you can check it out, you can go on Instagram, you can reach out to me. I am very, very personable. I can always reach back. My whole thing is that you are my daughters. I am here to help you be a better person. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kurera. Thank you so much. Just wow. Ladies, I'm sure you one of the things I've picked out today is giving back is part of self-care. You know, all the speakers today have talked about gratitude, have talked about reaching out to others, you know, have talked about giving back. You know, it sounds counterintuitive that the best way to help yourself is to help someone else. You know, I think it's very, very important to note, very important to practice. So we'll just move into a Q&A. If you guys have your questions, let's see if we can address maybe, I can give maybe 4, 5, 6 questions,
Okay.
if they're not too complicated.
Carrie, Mr. Carrie, please, I have another appointment in 15 minutes. If they have questions for me, can I go first? Because I have to go. Please,
Okay.
if the other
Okay.
speakers
No problem.
are okay with that.
No problem, no problem. So ladies, let's have your questions. I'm sure someone will pass the microphone, then you can ask your question and let us know which of the speakers you want to respond. But if you have questions for Kurera, please go ask her first so we can keep to the time.
Ma, I want to ask, what is the name of your brand and the name of the handbook?
Did I hear you correctly? What is the name of the cosmetic brand?
Yes.
It is called Kurera Cosmetics. Just like my first name, and then @ cosmetics.
What about the Instagram?
It is @ Kurera Cosmetics, the cosmetic with the 2 S. So if you put @ Kurera, it will appear.
Who is next? Where are the many questions? I have to about all these programs. First, second, and third, about then any other question? Who is next? Who is next? Go ahead, stand up and.
My question was to and how can one get rid of fear?
Say it again.
My question goes to Controller, and I want to know how a person can get rid of his fear.
Okay, Dr. Abiri, I don't know if you heard the question. She wants to know how to deal with fear.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Thank you very much for that question. Thank you for that question. And I know that, quite a number of times we encourage people to do it afraid. Do it non-regardless of the fear, because, fear is a normal part of our lives. But we often always say that fear is an acronym that means false evidence appearing real. So fear sometimes is our imagination. Sometimes fear is how we, look at a situation and say that, wow, it's going to overwhelm me. And so sometimes it's in the perception, not in the reality. Many times the things that we are afraid of is not about what is going on at that point in time, but about what we've been told, what we've heard, what we've seen other people go through. So first of all, acknowledge that yes, fears exist, but don't let fears take over you. So we encourage, of course, that you face your fears. Very importantly today, Susan has spoken to us about the amygdala, the beautiful part of the brain that is the amygdala. And it is the amygdala that gets you prepared for fear. It gets you prepared for what we call the fight or the flight reaction. And the amygdala also helps us to release what we, as stress hormones and keep our body, ready for a fight. However, we should never let fear, take us down. We should never let fear win. And so how can we overcome fear? One of the first things that you must do to overcome fear is take time out. Don't let fear cloud your senses. Step back from what is making you afraid and look at it in the face and ask it questions. What is it about you that I am afraid of? Why do you make me feel a certain way? Why do I feel this way when I am confronted with issues that have to do with you? Then the second thing that I encourage you to do is to slow down and breathe. Do self-talk and reassure yourself. Everything will be all right. Everything will be okay. It may not be okay in this moment, but everything will be okay. Again, when you are afraid, like I said, your fears are based on what you think, not the reality. And so sometimes what you can do for yourself is look at the evidence. What is the evidence? Is the evidence that I am seeing right now, is it big enough for me to be so afraid? Or is it something I can look at and say, wow, is this what I was afraid of? So look at what the evidence is and ask yourself if it is really something that you should be afraid of. Don't try to be perfect. We are not all perfect. And so we all have fears. Once in a while, we're afraid. A very important point is that you can also talk to somebody about your fears. Someone who is more experienced, who has walked the journey that you have walked, and who can also show you that, see, fears are normal. Fears will happen, but don't let your fears drown you. The last thing is that, visualize a happy place. And I know that it was one of the things that Susan talked about. It was also one of the things that I mentioned about mindfulness, putting your senses in a good place, putting yourself in calm, and, stopping to smell the roses and enjoy the beautiful things around you. I think that one of the most important things that you can do when you have overcome your fears, because from the outset, reassure yourself that I can overcome my fears. I am bigger than my fears. Is that when you eventually succeed and the fear is gone, reward yourself. And like I said, celebrate your wins. Tell yourself, look at me, man. I did this. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Abiri. Thank you so much for that.
Hello. My question goes to Mr. Susan.
Go ahead. Can we have the next?
Okay. So, Mrs. Susan, the technique we just practiced, are we to do it in the morning when we wake up or at the night when we are going to sleep? Or it's only when we are stressed or worried?
Both and all of the above. You can use this technique to build your resilience. So you can have sort of a routine. In the morning, for example, you can say, I'm going to spend 5 minutes on my gratitude and put myself in a very happy space, or before an event and you need more self-confidence, you can use it to build up your feeling of self-confidence and be in a good space for whatever you need to do next. And whenever you feel stressed out, to take a break, put on the mask, do some breathing, and distract. It's the distraction that makes the chemical changes happen in your brain.
Next. Next question. Any other question? All right, Mr. Nakama, I guess that will be all for the questions from here.
Okay. All right. So I hope we all got something very insightful, for me especially. The theme of all the conversations we've had today has been around mental health. We have heard today to go back of more research around the amygdala. I've heard about the amygdala a lot today, of dealing with fear in terms of our fight or flight responses. Very key, very insightful conversations that we've had. So ladies, if you have additional questions after this, maybe you have questions of a personal nature, you want the mentors to maybe comment or give you some advice, please don't hesitate. I'm sure you have a platform with a Didion, who we call Didi. You can send those personal emails to her, and I'm sure the mentors will respond and reach out to you as best as they can. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you once again to all the mentors who have come and taking this opportunity to speak to the ladies. And then very quickly, I want to hand over to Ayodeji Olagunju, who is the Quality Assurance and Strategy Specialist for ASR Africa. He will give us the closing remarks for today's event. Ayo, are you on?
Since Ayo is out.
Okay. He's not. Well, okay, fine, no problem. I can go ahead and close us out then.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Thank you once again. Yeah, thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for all the participants and for the IT guys in the background who have been working to make this happen. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you for the mentors. Thank you for all those our friends who have logged on to encourage us and to be part of this event. Thank you once again. I also want to thank our MD who has encouraged us, the MD of ASR Africa, the provost of the Federal College of Education Technical Gusau, and all the staff, management, and team over there. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, Dr. Aviri. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Correa. Thank you so much for those insightful words. And we hope we can get additional material from you, and maybe like Oliver Twist, ask for more sometime in the future. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. So, ladies, please put into practice what we've learned, and we'll see you tomorrow for the graduation ceremony. Thank you, everyone. Yes, congratulations to the ladies, to all the girls.
Congratulations. We're very proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Hi, Clotilde. I can see you.
Outside.
Thank you.
Enclosed area. Two things. A couple of people I'd like to introduce you, members of the GCA staff who were not here earlier. One is Sandra Harris.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You can wave. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye.
Ai ya mana ya mun manta wallahi gaba ɗaya tun jiya muka so mu sai fitar muka manta yau kuma haka akwai ma cikin jan kamar mu sani ko ya bai da so ne ne da wanda ne shi da wanda ko ya ka san ya ka ba gobe wani ko su dige da suna nan Let's end this now.